Well, Yolanda, it looks like everything back to normal today on the exchange after that much shortened day. And of course, the market only trading for about 3 hours yesterday.
Yes, Stephen, it was an exciting open as we saw investors waiting the whole entire day in order to participate in the market. We did see investors trying to catch the bounce and the benefits of the S&P being stronger on the day. And we saw a lot of bears come out as some stocks hit key technical levels, and then obviously some profit taking as volume died down within an hour of open.
And of course, volumes yesterday pretty good for such a short day, 8 billion rand, so a bit lower than normal, but not bad considering.
Exactly, Stephen, and I think what it would highlight, and we've seen it in the last couple of weeks, we see a lot of volume in the morning and then a lot of volume in the close when we see the S&P markets. Sorry, and the Dow open in the afternoon, really just giving direction and investors taking the opportunities in the afternoon. So you see the bulk of the volume being traded at the end of the day.
Now, of course, we had the Dow futures positive this morning. Our own market was positive, up by about 0.25%. Dow futures have just turned negative. Our market's in the red. The FTSE in London's in the red as well. Anything out there to push the markets into the red, or really just a bit of profit taking after the strong run we have seen over the past week?
Stephen, I think it's possibly off the strong run that we had. We did see consumer confidence yesterday pulling the US markets back slightly. We did see it end off positively, and then obviously from Asia we saw that positive run. So really just a little bit of profit taking. Looking forward to news this afternoon in terms of durable goods orders and the beige book.
Well, we'll get back to those durable goods orders in a moment. First of all, we had some results out this morning. ArcelorMittal looks like a fair set of results. We had that share price leading the top 40 board this morning. I'm not quite sure where it is right now. I'm going to bring up that graph. What did you make of those numbers?
I think it's a fair set of results. We have seen the problems they've had in terms of pricing, the surcharges. Very good results in terms of the fact that they've seen steel demand being increasing. We saw the net realized prices moving higher, and also costs coming off lower in terms of their coking coal pricing. They were seeing alloy steel. So fair set of results. They have, however, come out to say that they're fairly cautious about their HEPS for the third quarter, which is which takes into account possible slowing demand, the price increase from Eskom, as well as higher wage costs. So fairly cautious going ahead. Market obviously liking those numbers. We saw them up high on the day, but still cautious into the next 6 months.
How about the new Kumba interim agreement? Because it's going to go from paying about $30 a tonne for iron ore up to between $50 and $70. So that's also going to have an impact on margins going forward, Yolanda.
It will, and we saw part of the revenue numbers that came through from ArcelorMittal was that they had been charging a surcharge above their steel prices. What they're going to be doing now is obviously creating an all-in price, which will be beneficial to the market. We should see steel prices coming off by 3%. In August, but in all fairness, one would have to see how everything gets panned out and how the dispute gets settled before one or investors can make investment decisions on the stock.
Of course, as you said, investors liking these numbers. The share price was up close to 4% just a few minutes ago, trading around 87, 88 rand. Do you think it's perhaps a bit too rich at this stage, because it has come back quite a long way? Do you think you'd wait for more clarity on the future for this company?
You see, if one is in the position, I think one would hold your position. If you haven't gone into the position, Nedbank has got a 1-year target of just over 85 rand. So be fairly conservative and very cautious about the stock going forward. So if you're not on the position, just be wary and just wait for the resolution.
British American Tobacco also out with numbers today, and it looked like those numbers missed expectations.
Yes, Stephen, and that looked like it was from higher taxes from Turkey and Australia, and also a combination of the recession really take effect on smokers, where they're moving to cheaper premium of cigarettes. We like BTI in the long term. It's a good defensive play. It's a great dividend player. So in the short term, we might see them come back a little bit, but in the long term, they are definitely a different good stock and a good investment.
And of course, the deadline from government for investors, but particularly portfolio investors, to hold on to their holdings in VAT, that has been extended for the time being, so you don't really need to adjust your portfolios at this stage, do you?
Yes, Stephen, which I think is very positive for the market. If they hadn't changed the dispensation, we would have seen the share price coming under pressure in September. So I think it's well and fair that they have extended it for the next 2 years, and we like the fact that they've changed it, and it really gives the share breathing room to grow.
And we have to leave it there. Thanks very much for your time.